here we go. OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app. Your home smart speaker up on TSN 4. Brian Hayes, Doug, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan.
What's going on today?
How we feeling this afternoon?
JP, activate.
JP is working overtime in here.
JP had a sweat on trying to get some things organized. All we want around here is a fuse box or something. We got some electrical issues.
Right.
It's not fair to JP to fix everything around here.
Not his job to do that. And JP, I thought he was going to come in here and start kung fu fighting with me because I thought he was going to come in and scissor kick me right in a squash.
Well, you got chippy and said, I need my computer, which is fair. You need your computer.
I think your exact words were, the first priority is my computer.
That is not accurate. I was not talking about my computer.
Yeah.
But we were shooting a promo before the show.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of said, hey, the promo's important, but we got to make sure we're live at 4 p.m.
Yeah, we got a show here.
And I don't think JP was ecstatic about that. But he came in, got the job done, and we got the promo done, and we're live on the air, and it's all good.
And you're activated.
JP's secondary option was I was going to have to sit in Noodles' lap. Because I was fully prepared. I was shaking your hand saying, see you later. We're doing the game tonight, and I couldn't do the show.
But I don't
I'm
think
not
that's
sitting
the
over
option.
there. That was an option.
The option is not to shake his hand and say, I'll see you later.
Right.
It's like, let's put another mic right here, and you and I can press this button, and we're good to go.
So.
Get creative and grind your way out of an issue.
Yeah.
You have things like you like things certain way, so do I. If this thing wasn't working, I was ninja dust, and I had to prep for the game tonight.
I understand that. There is possibly Al's brother's old office that could have been an option for you.
The O desk.
Fired up the O desk.
Yeah, the O desk would have been fine. Am I spotting, is that an alumni coat?
No.
It looks good.
No,
I thought that's an alumni coat. It's not?
No, it's not. The alumni coat has a logo on it.
Well, I thought the logo was on the other side.
No.
That looks a lot like an alumni coat.
Yeah.
It looks good.
I thought maybe after the Leafs start, this guy took the logo off the jacket. That would be disappointing.
I've got a feeling. Maybe I'm in the minority of this because we were talking before the air. I think they win tonight, and I think Brad Treliving talked today. I don't want to get
he spoke
unpack
today.
what you guys felt about that.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
It's just I always feel like things are never as bad as you think it is, but they're never as good as you think. There's somewhere in the middle. So where's the middle for this group?
Well, Jamie, with that saying comes getting out of it.
Yes.
Because once you get out of it, you can turn back and say, that wasn't that bad. We won. It's like William Nylander. He's so casual. He was just like, we keep doing this for a month. We got a problem.
Yeah.
And he just said it so casually. I was like, man, that guy just doesn't have a pulse. But they're in one, and it's. I always go back to one thing, and I'm sure you know that everybody thinks this, Jamie.
Yeah.
A lot of times it takes your goaltender to get you out of it.
Sure.
Just to have a performance where it's like, you got to steal one and say, okay, boys, let's get back on track now.
I think what is very clear is this has to be rock bottom. You can't go lower than this. This is it. You've played your card. You've played your 19-game card of poor play, inconsistencies, haven't worked hard enough. Everyone's pissed off, and this is as low as it can get.
Now let's dig up.
Yes. If you're still digging further, I don't think you have another week.
No.
That's 3 or 4 games where you say, okay, now we're going to catch. Because, yes, it's only 6 points right now, but that's really all it can be this early into the season.
Right.
If it gets to 10 or 11 and you're jumping over 6, 7 teams
that are playing each other
every night, it just isn't possible. Mathematically, it's not possible unless you're going to go on some ridiculous Cinderella 18 of 20 run.
I don't know if
and that's just not
run in them.
It's not reasonable to ask that out of anybody in pro sports.
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are. It's not fair to ask of it, and it's not reasonable to ask of it. So this has got to be your rock bottom. You had to have hit it now, and now you got to start moving up. You've played the card. Every team's going to have their rock bottom. Now in Colorado, maybe it's 3 losses in a row.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. It's not that deep. It's pretty shallow. But for them, it'll be, all right, time to snap out of it. Worst team in the league, it might be 10 losses in a row.
Right.
Where the Leafs, it's got to be 5 losses in a row.
Yeah.
And you haven't played well, and you're 8-9-2, and everyone's pissed off, and that's got to be it.
Yeah.
You got to start moving up now. Buffalo's got the same amount of points as you after last night.
And they didn't have a great start.
Yeah, exactly.
They had a dreadful start. That's the Buffalo's won 5 or 6, and 5 of their last 6. They're coming on. But I look at it, if this is rock bottom, then they got to find a way to get out of it. And it may start with the goaltender. It may start with just a special performance from a good player. Or it may be a tight game and you find a way to get it done. But you have to find a way to get to that next level. And, I unpacked a lot what Tree had to say today. The one thing that kind of stood out for me, I don't know what stood out for you guys, but when he said, everything's kind of been vanilla.
Mm-hmm. We have that clip. Why don't we play that, all right? Here's how Brad Treliving earlier today kind of described his team's play and identity through 19 games.
And do you feel like this team has established an identity, or is that maybe part of the disconnect that you're talking about?
100%. I think there's been too much vanilla with our team.
All right. So he went on and kind of described that. But who do you think should take that most personally?
The players.
The players, but because the way that you play. And there's lots to talk about in the 2 hours here, but when I looked at the Toronto Maple Leafs the last, let's call it 5-6 years, when they've been really, 100 points and just rolling along regular season, their identity on any given night, whatever happened, he's got no mute button.
Dude, if you go into a coughing fit, we are jammed.
Well, no, you got to give a sign to JP.
Well, what are you going to do? It's not air traffic control in
Usually
here.
I hit that button and I cough.
I know. You're going to have a sneeze attack today. I know it. We're just going to have to fight through it. Noodles and I, we're basically at a camp here to prepare for tonight.
Dude, you better get the Odes set up or something. I don't know.
Get some air traffic controllers in here.
You got to throw up a flag or something when you need your mic turned off. But let me get back to it. In the last 5 or 6 years, when I look at the Leafs, their identity was high skill, and then you bring in, regardless, whether it was Keefe or Berube, they could defend, and they had good goaltending, okay? So there was a couple, but 2-2 game, there was always somebody that was special that could dig it out.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was the power play, it was this great shot by Matthews or Marner or Nylander or Tavares, core 4 would dig him out or whatever. They don't have that anymore. Now, they still have pieces of that, but their identity, they're still trying to find it. So when you look at it and say, what is the identity of the group? It's supposed to be heavy, tight checking, and then you've got the skill pieces on top. They haven't established it. It's only 19 games. We'll call it only 20 after tonight. But that's one thing I think Brad Treliving's talking about is in past years, you kind of had that identity as this is what they were. And if they could get to it on that given night, good chance they were going to get 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
My concern with that is for every other team in the league for the longest time, for as long as I've been doing this, you get to the 20-game mark and everyone in the NHL says, well, we're going to kind of know what we are after 20 games.
Yeah.
So we all of a sudden, and I do understand they have some bodies out, some important bodies.
Yeah.
Are we all of a sudden going to give these guys a hall pass and say, well, let's give them 10 more games?
Yeah.
How come everybody else kind of knows what the hell they are after 20 games? But because what? We talk about these guys, we're going to give them an extra 10? I don't know.
Well,
if they're going to create some form of identity moving forward in the next 10 games, what he just said is too vanilla. And I think you break that down to individuals. If they're going to form some type of identity on the positive, there's a lot of guys playing vanilla that are going to have to drastically improve. For us to change our opinions.
What's your interpretation of changing the thought process of vanilla?
Well, I think couple things on this. One, I think Treliving speaking today is important. I think it was the right play. I think he looked and sounded composed for whatever that's worth. I think the vanilla comment is an interesting one because for me, I would go, the first guy I thought of was the captain of the team. Like you're the captain, you're the leader, and your GM saying your team is too vanilla. Like that would be something I think Matthews should take personally. Now he's not playing right now.
Right.
And injuries are not an excuse for why they're in the position they're in. They are a reality of what they have to deal with as of tonight moving forward.
Contributing factor.
They're dealing with significant injuries. I think the coach would be most insulted by that term because he as a player was the complete opposite of vanilla.
Yeah.
Like Craig Berube, I don't know what that is. What is that, chocolate, I guess?
Yeah.
But whatever he was, it was extreme. There were sprinkles and there was a lot of flavor in his game. And I think if you're the coach, you're listening to that, and I think he's got to bear a fair amount of responsibility. I understand players are first and foremost, but they get outshot, they get outchanced every night. They lack confidence. You know, like the coach has got to get the best out of this team. He's got to inspire them to do what he wants them to do.
Yep.
And it's on the players as pros to do it. And if you're not checking, that's on you. If you're not skating, that's on you. But this is a difficult job right now. Like, it's a tough job, but it is one that Berube has been in before. Yeah. Like, it was different context in St. Louis, but they were a mess when he took over. A mess.
Right.
And he pushed all the right buttons in conjunction with Binnington showing up, who will be in town tonight, ironically enough. But I think the vanilla thing speaks to, you know, lack of sticking up for each other, which has been consistent all year. I look at tonight, I'm like, how about a fight tonight? Like, is anyone going to show up and say, we're going to get in a fight tonight?
You know what's sad? Not sad, but I would consider that to be highly unlikely.
I'm not holding my breath on it either, but GM saying vanilla, Berube's yelling at him, trying. He's poking and poking. We saw the audio and the video yesterday. He's on them. He wants them to play harder. He wants them to play tougher. They're being called out. The whole market's on fire right now.
Yeah.
And it's a real opportunity for someone, ideally multiple players, if not the whole team, to show up with an attitude tonight.
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing. I don't know if they have it. So that's the problem. Like, if you are vanilla or playing vanilla is too much vanilla, but what if you are vanilla? Yeah. Like that, how do you get yourself out of that? Yeah. And I think
that's what a
GM
lot of them
has to
are.
bear some of that responsibility too. It's his team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's got
We used to work with somebody in here that was an executive and then became an executive again. And he would describe it as just a guy. Like that guy, Jag, just a guy.
Yeah.
It's like they go out there and they're just a guy roaming around out there with a hockey stick and you don't notice them, might not get scored on, might not be a minus, but he's literally just a guy and they have way too many of those guys and way too many that are like $3 million players, like too many guys that are being paid to be better than what they are, and they're just guys out there, and you cannot win squat when you have a lot of just a guy.
Yeah.
It's just, you can't do it.
Well, I think if you take it personally, then everybody's got to get to their game as quick as possible tonight. And it's simple stuff, but it's play fast, play aggressive. I'd rather a team make mistakes by being overly aggressive than being passive and just watching people go by you. Like, play mean. If it means that you got to kill off a penalty here or there, like, let St. Louis know you're in one tonight. And now it's a fine line. We were talking about, like, I think Max Domi cares, but I think sometimes he wants to show in certain ways, and he'll take an untimely penalty. Mm-hmm. If you can drag somebody into it, if Max Domi gets an opportunity to run Robert Thomas tonight, do it, because he's one of their top players for St. Louis. And take a piece of him. Maybe there's a reaction and everybody jumps in, and a guy like Dakota Joshua, who's a big man. Lorentz is a big man. There's some big men. Like Bobby McMahon's not a small guy either.
No, and
like,
Bobby's had a couple tilts and been in it recently.
Dust-ups. Like, it's not about like so much drop in the gloves as being there, being present, being aggressive. That's where I think that's where Craig Berube's probably going, give me some of that. Give me some aggressiveness, and we don't have to apologize for that. Now, he's playing against his former organization, too. Craig Berube knows the guys on the other side, too.
And they're in one as well.
They're
St. Louis
one.
Can't defend. They can't get stops.
It's basically carbon copy. They're looking at each other in the mirror right now. Now, who's going to break out? Each team has some game breakers. William Nylander, we talked about him yesterday. 88. He's had some great start. 26 points.
Top 10 in points.
He's doing great that way. But you're not expecting him to change the way he plays. But there is a factor where it's like, that's outside the box for William Nylander, which I would be fine with.
And I would point to him and Morgan Riley as examples of that. The two longest standing Leafs who are playing tonight.
Right.
Because most put up points this year.
Yeah.
Like, he's got numbers. Great. Keep doing that. But you got to be a dog defensively.
Yeah.
You got to be a dog. Like, you've got to set a tone. And that's where, like, a vanilla comment, which I think is accurate, you can't expect Troy Stetchard to react to that. He just got here. You can't expect Dakota Mermis to be like, oh, man, I better show. If it's not Riley, McCabe, Nylander, Tavares, I'd throw Knives in there, Domi in there, like your veteran kind of leaders who are playing tonight, they're the ones that have got to take that personally and change it and grind through it.
I wouldn't ask for a tone setter. Like, when have you known, as much as we love Morgan Riley on this show, when have we ever seen him be a tone setter? You just got to go out there and have your best game.
But that's what it is.
You can't get beat, and you got to drive play offensively and do the things that you do best. Adam Foote has this rule. I go to it a lot. In big games, he would always say, pick the 3 things that you do well and go out there and do them and focus on them.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
It's
drive play offensively and don't get beat and don't stand out for the wrong reasons. Run the power play. Maybe those are your 3 things. Everyone's got to find the 3 things that they're good at and do them. And don't try to be some tone setter. Then you got guys taking stupid penalties. And they just don't have, they're not tone setters. That's not what they do. But they got to play a hell of a lot better.
They got to play better, though. They got to defend. You got to battle, at least.
But
that's got to be expected.
Yeah. And the
100%.
problem is, why is it, like, wouldn't you think, because whatever their record is, after 19 games, they've had a lot of games where they were awful. Even some games they've won. That game against Pittsburgh, they were terrible.
Well, Tree Living said that today.
He's like, our wins.
Yeah, it's like we score more goals. We didn't win the game, you know, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, they didn't win the actual.
So that's kind of concerning, where it's like, we're at game 19 now, or 20. What is going to change? What is it?
The commitment to the details of the game, you could start there. But the names that you said, it's not going to be Quillen or Murmas that digs them out. It's going to be the spine of the team, the veteran guys that you're going to rely on to dig them out. Murmas might get a goal, or you might get a great play from Quillen. But I expect Willie to be a difference maker tonight. I expect John. JT has been very consistent. I think he's been, exactly, if I had to predict one player in the game tonight, I know exactly how John Tavares is going to play.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's, pretty darn good. But I look at it, all of those guys have to play to their capability. And, a week from now, we could be talking about, and they've won a couple, and it's like, okay, that was your TSN turning point, and they're feeling better, and they're getting a little bit more healthy, all that type of stuff. You mentioned it. The goalie just stands on his head. You're not in the video room that much either, right? Because it's like,
very
that
helpful.
Turnover really doesn't, nothing to see here because the goalie made a save. So, the goaltender who played well in Chicago, I liked his game, and he looked comfortable, but he can have a game here tonight.
Yeah. Now, again, I think because it's so much sample size and they played so poorly, like a 45 save miracle game will not go over well. Like, they have to. You're right in terms of getting the flies off, and hey, you stop the losing streak and you get a win.
I don't think the Pitt game is going to cut it.
But exactly, it's like you got to actually own a game. So you kind of
the style of the game, the win of the game.
Yes, I mean, at some point, because they've had like 3 or 4 all year where you can walk away and say they've actually maybe outperformed the other team.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And the goaltending in general, I think over the course of the next 10 to 15 games is going to be the best way to get them out of this.
Sure.
Out of any jam is always a couple goalies or one goalie gets hot. And it's all you can breathe, reset.
Yeah.
But, Tree Living speaking today, I think it was the right move. But, effectively said no moves coming. Coach is safe. And
he had one comment that I'd like to hear if you have it ready, JP. It caught my attention about different players on the roster and plug and play. Go ahead. We don't know.
Oh, okay. That's
technical difficulties.
Holy smokes.
Get us back to Winnipeg.
Honestly, let's go back to Winnipeg.
Let's just move to
Our pets' heads are falling off. Your computer doesn't work. My lights aren't working. And we don't have clips ready.
Yeah. Get us back to Winnipeg, man. Polo Park got a soft spot.
I told you, Doogie, you had no idea about the clip that we were talking about.
Doogie put on one of the great performances of all time.
You lied to me.
In Winnipeg or here?
No, here. He looked both of us right in the eye, said, I know exactly what clip you're talking about.
Well, he was grin-screwing Hayes. He goes, yeah. He was Monty. He goes, I know exactly the clip you're talking about. And I wasn't paying attention. I looked at him and I go, well, what clip was it, Doogie? And he goes, I don't know.
Doogie's on top of things. We got it now, Doogie? Okay.
Hang on a sec.
Throw it to the clip that you picked off earlier.
This clip caught my attention about different players on the roster and plug and playing and who could make a difference. Go ahead.
Where we're at right now, you could bring in certain players. If we're playing the way we're playing, it's not so much an individual thing as much as it's a team thing right now. So put anybody in the uniform and playing the way we're playing, we're probably going to have the same result. So number one, get the group stabilized, figure out the areas, and as we've talked about, the areas that we've talked about and identified that we can be better in. But as far as looking at the market, Jonas, is stuff we do every day. That doesn't change regardless of where you are in the standings.
So what I find interesting about that is, again, I look at the coach. I know it was your clip and you want to comment on it, but effectively saying, like, you could drop Connor McDavid into this lineup and it's not going to matter because of the way they play.
Also a tough comment.
Yeah, I mean,
what's it saying about your team?
Well, that's it. Like, how bad are they playing? Accurate, but like, who's responsible for that? I don't.
Saying the guy who put the players on the ice.
Well, I guess so. I mean, Tree Living would have to be responsible for some of it. The coach would have to be responsible for some of it. Yep. I mean, it can't just all be the players stink. You know, they haven't played well.
No,
but it's an organizational issue right now.
Well, everybody has to wear it. And, you know, Brad Tree Living started his comments saying, like, I take responsibility. He wasn't hiding from it. But I also think he was taking a bullet for trying to, hey, nothing to see here. Like, it's me on me. And he was trying to maybe take some fire away from Craig Berube because it's been quite noisy on, you know, there's been a few articles, all of that type of stuff. But he comes out and gives, you know, Chief a vote of confidence and says, listen, we all can be better. I would like to see this. I've been saying this, and we'll get into Edmonton's the same way. You look at some of these teams that aren't playing to their capabilities. A manager has to look at it and say, okay, when they play to their capabilities, are we good enough? And that's when you add to it. You don't make these knee-jerk reactions when everybody stinks right now. There's a fine line in between because they're injured. There's some key injuries.
Big injuries right now. But big ones.
The players that are there aren't playing well. So can Max Domi play better? Absolutely. What is Max Domi's ceiling? Probably a 50-point guy, right? He should be in that 40 to 50 point, depending on where he is. He's nowhere near there. We were talking about, what is he, 5 points?
Yeah, and defensively, it's been a disaster.
If the guys play to their capability, I still think Tree's making trades. Their team has been a work in progress all year. So we just haven't seen anybody play to their capabilities for a full 60 minutes, pretty much all 19 games. We've
a lot
seen
of
pockets.
a lot of the stuff, like, the individuals need to play better. But as far as, like, market correction, we're talking about, like, dumb stuff. Getting pucks out, being physical.
Yeah.
Get a save here and there, winning battles. Like, don't turn it over at the blue lines.
The simplest hockey.
The simplest stuff that is like caveman type hockey, like, it shouldn't be that difficult with the amount of goals you're scoring.
You're right.
Well,
we'll see, though. Tonight will be fascinating.
It's a big one tonight. It's a big one tonight.
I feel like I've never been on the panel and had a loss. I don't think, like, I feel like I've got a winning record on the panel.
Last year it was New Jersey where Stolar stood on his head and Matthews won it in overtime, I think it was.
Yeah. For our game?
Yeah, the game where we were all on the panel.
A couple years ago, I had the black eye.
Yes, and I think they won that game.
Won that guy. I'm telling you, I feel
it might be. It might be an OverDrive bump for the Leafs tonight. They need one.
Well, they do need one.
They need one tonight. They got to get a win tonight. So, yeah, we're on a panel, and JD, this is Duthie country around here, right? We're not in Winnipeg anymore, so Duthie.
They hate him in Winnipeg.
It's unfortunate how they treated our boy out in Winnipeg.
And there's a rumor floating around that I bought everyone a drink at Boston Pizza to boo him. Not true.
Not accurate. We were there. That did not happen. Did not happen.
Yeah.
So Duthie will address why
he was booed.
He's so disliked in Winnipeg. Get his take on a Grey Cup. Get his take on us being on a panel tonight, the Leaf game tonight. We'll touch on Edmonton. They lost in Buffalo last night. The Habs lost in a shootout last night. Now, they got themselves a point, but they were chasing that game all night, too.
I'll tell you what, Brucey's take yesterday on 5, what did he say, 5 Canadian teams are making it?
Yeah.
Insanity. 2 max.
Well, you got 2 max Canadian teams?
2 max Canadian teams playoffs.
Winnipeg and Ottawa?
As of right now, that's where I got it.
I say 5 still. I say all 5. Maybe 4. Maybe one falls off, but I think
we might have to have a new meter, like not the coach's meter, which I might have to do this week.
Well, here's the truth. If the playoffs were to start tonight, there'd be 2 teams in it.
Winnipeg and Montreal.
Winnipeg
right?
and Montreal.
How about that, huh?
Yeah, but guess what?
How about that?
I know it doesn't start tonight.
How about
I
that?
get it. It doesn't start tonight, but the Leafs, Ottawa, Edmonton, Vancouver, Calgary,
I'll
they're all
stretch
out.
it to 3 max.
You're willing to
3.
give one more?
One more.
I say 4 to 5.
I think at
There
least
is not-
3 are going to make it.
There is not 5 teams from Canada making the playoffs, boys. Sorry.
You're saying 500 you'd put on there?
I'll
how many
put
other teams are...
$10,000. If you want to bet 10 grand right now, 3
All right.
max.
We'll come back and settle this. Duthie will join us. Duthie's got a level-headed mind on this kind of stuff, right? He can contribute. Maybe we get some people in here to give him an applause when he comes in.
That would be good. We can
doesn't
give him a
need it.
round of applause.
Should we do that? We'll give
we
him
can't
a
even
round
get
of
our
applause.
electronics working.
That's true. How are we going to get people to
We
come in
should
here?
if we had a fake studio audience.
That would be great for Duthie's arrival.
AI.
Just right behind us. Just there he is. Duthie country.
Clapping.
AI. Get some AI.
Okay, let's get some AI
Yeah.
and a new
And a new monitor for him.
monitor,
Cough
new computer, cough button, and some AI. We can get this done in 5 minutes.
Let's go.
All right, Duthie's coming up and some AI. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 4. There he is. Duthie country. We're back.
We're in
back
Ontario. Activate, JP. Activate, baby.
Activate. JP.
That's where we're at. Activate.
Activate.
Microphone on or off. So
Yeah.
JP has
So JP
I have
runs
to
the whole
say,
operation.
activate, JP.
You know what I feel like when I come on your program?
The show is.
I feel like Daniel Dale.
Yes.
When he comes on, that's his name, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He comes on after a presidential news conference and has to
Fact check.
refute all the fabrications
Right.
and the basically slanderous statements that are made. And that's what I feel like the few times that I come on this
But you're
fine
better
program.
than him. That guy's fake news.
You're calling fake news
I
on the
know,
fact
I love
checker.
that.
Where does
I
it
like that.
Where does it start? Dan Dale's a good kid. I played golf with his dad. But anyway, no politics here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, no matter what the president is, he comes on. I don't
Yeah,
care.
you're right.
He
No, I've
comes
seen
on
him do it
and
in
fact checks.
Canada, too.
Okay.
All right, where do I start? First of all, having a great time at Grey Cup week. I get invited on the OverDrive program. I make the long trek, interrupting my research to come out to the Boston Pizza, and very excited about it. Find out I'm double booked with the CFL commissioner, so there was absolutely no purpose of me being there.
I didn't understand that either. Why were you there?
Waste of my 20 minutes. I barely spoke. Second of all, I get booed upon arrival, to which, I mean, my 92-year-old mother called me afterwards in tears, saying, all I ever wanted was for you to be liked. And now you're booed. Friends were texting me saying, why does Winnipeg hate you?
We were disappointed,
We love
too.
it.
We want that pointed out.
Yeah, only
love it there.
to find out through sources that a member of the OverDrive team promised alcohol to the entire restaurant in
is
order
not true.
in order to boo me.
It is interesting how a rumor will fly.
That
like
is.
We just said boo you. We didn't promise any alcohol.
I see.
We don't have that power.
Well, then to the folks at Boston Pizza in Winnipeg, why are you pigeons? You know, why are you the robots controlled by this man? Then yesterday I found out I was maligned for my footwear choice in the Grey Cup
You
celebration.
had Jerry's shoes
To
on.
which I brought the shoe today so the crowd can analyze it. This is a Hugo Boss.
I love those
half
shoes.
sneaker, half dress shoe.
That's
It's not,
I
the same
screwed it up then.
not-
Are you
look
sure
at-
you were
it's not
wearing
like
that?
it's not like it's
the same
Asics
shoe
or
I'm
something
wearing.
out here. I
Are
like
you
Asics,
sure
by the way.
those are the ones?
These are the shoes I was wearing. Very stylish.
Those are-
all the NFL guys wear.
Those
them.
are gorgeous.
Now, I
Those
like
are
the
great.
dress shoe normally.
Yes.
I'm a dress shoe guy, and I would, if you look back at CFL Grey Cups over the years, usually dress shoe. But I decided, you know what? It's very homey. out in
Okay,
Winnipeg.
my bad. I thought you had like a jogging Asics shoe on like Jerry.
Yeah, you had to. That's what it was called out yesterday. It's like
And then-
you were wearing like Skechers.
And then further to that, the host of the program suggests that the crowd was booing me and not the commissioner on the awarding of the Grey Cup.
Yeah, that was an ego play for us. 'Cause we got a little bit carried away with how popular
I missed
we are
that
in
one. I
Winnipeg.
did not know that you made that
no,
comment.
but
He inferred.
you were speaking, and the booze started.
Well, here's what happened. I'll tell you the
Yes.
lowdown. There was a mistake made in the presentation.
Okay.
And, you know, first of all, I love Stu. I understand people's anger in certain circles. I personally would like to see what the rules look like, and we'll see. History will judge whether the commissioner should be booed or cheered. I kind of like a lot of the changes, but I do understand why people were angry. There's a lot of fans who stuck with the CFL for a long time who don't want it to be changed. I get all that. So Stu was only supposed to present the Grey Cup, not the awards. They just had somebody else up to hand the awards.
Right.
But the voiceover said, to present the awards for MVP and most valuable Canadian, Commissioner Stuart Johnston with James Duthie. And so I'm up there by myself, and the boos are raining down.
That's what I'm saying. See, I told you. I saw, and I'm like, there's booze raining down on
and I'm alone on the stage.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, I don't think that was a Boston Pizza carryover. I don't believe so.
No, but you publicly suggested.
I thought maybe that would be cool for us if actually we had that kind of clout.
As far as the rules go, Jimmy, why doesn't Stu, you remember back in the day the NHL formed, Shanny and Marty St. Louis, they formed a competition committee?
Right.
Yeah. Why don't they do that in the CFL and work with Stu?
There is that in the CFL, and they will go to that. And this is what Stu has been saying, but I think it's fallen on deaf ears, is that a lot of the things that he's, like the 3-minute, there's a lot of fuss about what happens in the last 3 minutes because people want to preserve how slow it goes to have big comebacks, and they're worried it's going to be like the NFL where everybody's taking a knee. Well, that's not done at all. It will go to the competition committee, and they'll figure it out. So a lot of these rules will be figured out by the competition committee. Again, I asked him that question, why didn't you consult with players and coaches? I think it's a valid criticism. But I think that people who think he did all this on his own are nuts. This was the Board of Governors wanted change.
Right.
Everyone wanted everyone within wanted the league to go forward. He has to take a lot of the heat for it. Did he act too fast? That's the judgment of all fans.
Isn't the commissioner's just basically a conduit of the owners and the Board of Governors? He's basically the guy who takes the bullets for the people who want change, right? You're right. He's not the guy going, hey, I got an idea, and ram it down everybody's throat.
You got to be the face of it, and like I said, he's probably going to get that for a couple of years, and then when the changes happen, everybody can judge whether the game's better or whether the game's not better, and we'll see if he's booed in 4 years or 5 years.
Does the commissioner not get booed every time?
I don't remember. Probably a little bit. I think commissioners are generally just commissioners unpopular. Maybe not that much at the Grey Cup. I'm sure this had a bit to do with it, but yeah, it definitely happens.
What about? Depends on what venue you're in. Like Winnipeg is diehard CFL, right? So you get to some other venues that maybe love their team and very, very passionate, but not as much. Would he get booed in Hamilton?
Yeah, exactly.
Would he get booed in Toronto? Or is it more kind of in the West?
Sure. I mean, look, that's the heartbeat of the heart of this beat of the CFL is Saskatchewan and Winnipeg. And I thought he was smart in the presentation. He got pretty quickly to congratulating Saskatchewan, and it turned to cheers pretty fast, which is what you got. Anyway, let me just wrap up my little Daniel Dell soliloquy.
Please do.
To say that, despite the slander and libel, I still come with autographed copies of certified for the host.
Yes, there you go. All right.
Greatest untold story.
Isn't that beautiful? Get a close-up of that, Joe.
Promotion.
Joe, get a close-up of that.
You don't get one.
I have one
because you already have one. You won one on the quiz.
You were making friends with guys, my buddies from Illegal Curve, just to go on their show.
What a beauty.
Yeah, do whatever you can. I like those guys in Illegal Curve. They were awesome.
See how quickly I can flip? He wasn't being booed. He wasn't being booed.
They were
one present.
They were chanting Duthie.
I love the inscription, though. I think you've been now in 4 of my books. I've been in all of his books.
I love it.
Yes. You're in all except the Brian Kilray book. I think you were in that one.
Content machine.
Well, even O-Dog's only been in 3, I think.
How many you got left in the tank, books-wise?
A couple more.
I don't know. I'm trying to turn this in. Maybe this turns into like the Harry Potter, where there's 12 of them.
There you go.
And then they become movies?
Is there enough interest for that?
Probably not. This is probably the end.
This is great.
I don't know.
All right, let's flip over. Let's flip over to hockey here. We
Yes.
were asking a question and tossing it around. Canadian teams making the playoffs. Confidently, what would you say right now?
Well, it's funny. I looked at it today, and I was going to ask Joe, our great stats guy, when is the last time that there were no Canadian teams this deep in the season in the top 10? I think 12 and 13 is where Winnipeg and Montreal are, and then 5 of the 7 in the bottom half of the league. And I think it's been a few years. There were some down years in there, but I would go. I think I'd still go 3
max, right?
3, but the over-under is probably 2.5 right now if you were to do that, right? Like, Winnipeg's going to get there.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because yesterday, all three, Brucey, Boudreau, and these two were like 4 or 5, and I'm like, no way, man.
Edmonton, if you think will find a way, I would say Ottawa, Montreal, maybe it's only one of the 2 that gets, and now I'm writing off Toronto, which I'm not. But, I mean, it could still get to 4 or something, but it could be 2.
I say 4, not easily, but 4 for sure, and maybe a 5th. That's the way I look at it.
Right now, how many are playoff positions? 2, right?
Yeah,
the one, 2 I mentioned is it?
Montreal and Winnipeg. That's it.
It's just so chaotic in the Atlantic. It's so hard to pick, like you say. I know the Leafs. It feels like the sky's falling in, and they're they're 4 points out of a playoff spot or whatever.
Was it 10 days ago, 12 days ago? The Leafs have won 3 in a row.
Yeah.
Right. Like they were, and
I believe somebody called them a wagon.
I did, and I'm glad you brought that up.
You called them a wagon?
I believe on this program.
I did. Now, I want to address that.
I wasn't on that.
Let's roll in the wagon sound. We got that?
It was saying it facetiously.
I was saying it sarcastically
because
I did Jonas was in here. I know. Well, and it's been posted everywhere. Leafs are a wagon with my face on it.
Dude, I texted it to him. I'm like, that's what you get for that.
I know, but
you were being a smartass.
He got radioed by his own show.
Jonas was in here, and I know Jonas was going to be, they're terrible, they're brutal, they're awful.
Okay.
And this guy wasn't in the mood to really pump tires either, right? You're like, even though they're winning, it doesn't look great. And I was like playing the role of the contrarian. Let me spin it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the Leafs are a wagon. I said it jokingly multiple times, assuming people would pick up on the sarcasm.
When I was driving my car, it felt serious.
I know, but the amount of people writing me being like, you called them a wagon 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, yeah, I did. But
I guess my point is
I was jabbing at Jonas more than anything, which I love to do.
But I say it all along. 5-game loss streak, they're at the bottom. 5-game win streak, you're right back in there. Like you talked about, like out west, between first place and like out of the playoffs is like 3 points. Here, it's 4 points.
Yeah,
like
the division's upside down, and everybody could be still packed in February. The thing I would be concerned about is the schedule's been easy-ish compared to the rest of the league. The schedule's been heavy home. Now you got all these injuries.
Oh, yeah, in Toronto, yes,
well,
absolutely.
You know what's crazy? There's one Canadian team with a plus goal differential. One. The Habs are it's Winnipeg. Habs are -3. Ottawa's -1. Winnipeg is +9 goal differential. Edmonton's -12.
Yeah, that's not.
That's crazy. The Leafs are -5 and Calgary's -19. Vancouver -10. Like those are big numbers.
Big numbers to make
into the red in terms of goal differential.
Yeah.
Like and that's usually an indicator to go Michael K on this in terms of like run differential, goal differential. One Canadian team in the plus.
My bigger concern, and I'm completely with Noodles. Like we always rush and judge, and they could turn things around and still be a playoff team easily. I haven't given up on that whatsoever. But I feel like the NHL breaks down into like 5 categories of team, and it's probably more than that. It's probably 10, but just for the sake of this, one is like the true Stanley Cup contenders, right at the top. Colorado's, the Vegases. You probably put Carolina in there. You can make your list, whatever. The next would be like the close to the would-be contenders, right? The teams that are, Edmonton would fall into that still, and then like the teams who have really solid cores who are looking, maybe the Jerseys and the Ottawas, teams like that who think they're ready to make the next step. The third would be the teams that are the window's opening. So maybe Anaheim, that they're not a contender, but the window is starting to open for them. They've been through the rebuild and they're starting to get there. Chicago not quite there yet.
Montreal maybe.
Yes, Montreal would fall into that. The fourth would be in a rebuild or just starting a rebuild. I can't think of one offhand right now. Maybe Calgary starting that right now. And then the fifth would be the no man's land of either you're at the end of your window and you got nowhere to go. And the thing that would concern me is those first 4 groups all have the same thing in common. They have hope in some way or another. Hope of winning a cup soon, contending for a cup soon, or that things are getting better. And if the Leafs continue to fall this year, they fall into that category 5 where you got nothing in the cupboard. And what do you do? I've
always said it's the worst place in pro sports to be is if you just miss the playoffs or just make it and get crushed in the first round. Where are you actually going? The answer is no.
But if they tumble, let's say the injuries pile up and they end up near the bottom of the division this year, you're not going to trade Matthews and Nylander. That's not going to happen. Like you say, you have nothing as far as first-round picks, and that, to me, that would be the most dangerous, depressing situation they've been in 15 years or something like that.
The only thing I would say, and I
just
think
made him do a head shake I haven't seen in a long time. Thanks for that.
You're still a ways.
No, it's
I
true.
think you're a ways away.
I'm not saying that's now. I'm just saying worst case scenario on the season.
I would take a look at recency. The Boston Bruins went through some weird things last year, right? That's
retooled and
they retooled and right back. But my point being is, Lindholm was gone for the season. That was their number 2 defenseman. That's a big blow. McAvoy gets injured in the Four Nations. They decide to move away from Marchand. They trade Charlie Coyle. That was at the deadline. That was after they made the decision, we are going to bottom out. Swayman comes into the camp late, couldn't really get it on the rails. There were so many things. Lindholm comes over, signing, didn't settle in. Elias Lindholm.
got hurt, I believe, at some point.
So there was just all these things. But that took a while. That was like a wave. You could see that build, and then they made the decision, and then they crashed and burned. I think the Leafs are far away from
20, 25, 30 games
exactly.
from that.
That's my point. Is right now, we're looking at it through an 0-4-1 lens.
100%.
That's where I try to remove. There's still 75% of the
very
season
valid
left, but the team has to play better. I want to see when Nicholas was healthy, what is his capabilities as your number 3 centerman settled in? If Lawton can get healthy, where are people slotted, and can they play in the post, Marner era, different identity, all of that type of stuff? Haven't got to that yet because we haven't seen the finished product. There's been injuries and inconsistencies. Until that happens and the decision's made, that's why I'm still going.
I'm with you. I was talking about where we are at the end of January, if it's 18-wheeler off the cliff sort of thing. Then they're in that predicament. I just want, when Brad Treliving said vanilla today, and everyone's trying to interpret what that means, do you think it means what O has been saying for a while here, that they have a lot of guys that just look the same, that are just guys?
What did you call him?
Yeah, Jag, just a guy.
Just a guy. Is that what that means a bit, maybe? I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of guys, you watch them, what they accomplish out on the ice. It's not a whole lot. So it's what are you doing out there?
Yeah.
Hayes made a great point, though, before you came on, said there's, who should be taking that personally? Is it the coach? Is it the leadership? Is it the players who are just the guys?
Isn't it all the above, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone should. I think Berube would be most insulted by that. I think the captain should be very offended by that. You represent the lifeline of the team, the personality of the team is the captain, right? Generally,
right.
And if you're the captain of a vanilla team, that should hurt. Now he's not playing, and Matthews skated today. He won't play tonight. Won't play Thursday. We'll see when he plays again. But the last thought on what you said though, James, about that could be a reality. Is that for the first time in 9 years, it actually could be a reality. Doesn't mean it will happen.
We've never had this. We've had slump discussions, and you guys have had to do overdrives where they've lost 4 in a row in the middle of the season. But there was always the feeling that, they would find a way and get it done or whatever. And I think this is the first time in a while that there is doubt about that.
Yes. And the fact that Boston owns their first-round pick next year also just doesn't jive well with people here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll catch
this
you on
is
the
exciting
panel.
Night. This is my favorite night of the year because I don't intend to do. I'm going to say welcome to the show, everybody. Brian Hayes, take over, and then I just sit back and
Beautiful.
I'm going to put my little Hugo Boss running shoes up on the table and
make sure that they're. Yeah. Well, I got you guys. I got in trouble last time because I gave an answer that was too long, and you guys are like, "That's an amateur play." Remember, we did the SportsCenter hit. And I talked for 2.5 minutes.
I want you to do some of the throw to breaks to see if you can talk into black again like you've done before.
I did do that.
Where you talk right into the
Harvey's throw. He was still talking.
Still going.
Brian,
coming up next.
When do we get back?
We're on to the next commercial, Brian.
It's poutine
Your mic
at
cut out
Harvey's.
12 seconds ago.
I'll try my best
No, you
tonight.
guys, this will be awesome. Everybody loves it when OverDrive takes over the show, so I will step back and let you guys do your thing.
Nah, it's your show. We're jumping on board.
I feel
jumping on board.
I'll see what kind of lies are told tonight about me.
I think we've got a streak going too. I believe we're 2-0 for OverDrive show.
There you go. The Leafs guaranteed win.
I think I speak for Leafs Nation in saying this is the perfect timing for this.
Yes.
That this trio is what is needed to turn things around. Now, what happens to Dregs and Cheryl and so on if they win 5-0 tonight?
That's a great question.
And then it starts to be a thing. It was like when they didn't want you in the building on those playoff runs a few years ago, but the reverse, where you have, maybe I'm going to be in trouble.
Maybe you're right. Maybe we just got to be on a panel. Okay, well, we'll figure something out. All right, JD, we'll see you in a bit.
Okay, guys. Thanks for having me.
Duthie. We're, of course, on the panel tonight with JD. The Leaf game on TSN 4. OverDrive continues up on YouTube Live.
JP, activate. It's a new way of doing business around here.
JP is winning the Heisman tonight.
He is.
This guy is going to win a sports Emmy with what he's doing today.
Yeah.
Because it has been phenomenal activation.
It is. Every time it's on.
The activation has been perfect.
Perfect.
OverDrive brought to you by FanDuel, bringing you more ways to play your game your way. Cowboys win and cover last night. You and your boy pretty quiet. Al's brother's still completely MIA. No idea what that guy's doing.
Completely.
No idea what Al's brother's doing with his life right now. But it's such a, the Cowboys are one of those teams, and they're in a spot, Vegas is terrible. They're just awful.
Dude, what does Tom Brady think about watching that?
He's 10% owner. And Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll had to take that job. He's 73. He won a Super Bowl. He was an all-time great college coach.
$5 million in his jeans.
Oh, I'll bet you more than
maybe
that.
10 million.
Way more than that in the NFL. But
10, yeah.
But he's probably been making that Noodles for 30 years.
That's true.
Yeah, he's just a football junkie.
Yeah.
When you're a football junkie, guess what takes the wind out of your sails? A team like that.
Yes.
That's true.
Look at Bill Belichick in North Carolina. He just looks like a shell of himself down there.
I bet you a lot of money that man's back in the National Football League next year.
You think so?
Okay.
All right.
We'll see.
I really do.
Maybe we'll get to that and confirm or deny.
Love it.
Confirm or deny coming up, and MJ coming up. Leafs Blues, we're on the panel tonight on TSN 4. OverDrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
JP, activate.
Hour 2 OverDrive continues. OverDrive activated, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line of the final score. MJ coming up from the rink. Leafs Blues tonight on TSN 4. We're going to be on the panel with James Duthie, right? JD. JD's talking a big game we're going to do everything. It's his show. JD runs
questions.
JD's running the whole operation.
Yeah.
It's his world. He's the best at it, and we're just there to do our thing and have fun.
If he gets
tonight.
a sense that someone's trying to hijack the show, he'll always do this thing where it's he angrily motions back, which is give it back to me.
Right.
Yeah. If it's getting close or he's getting a little bit pissy that you're talking too much, he's like, my time.
I know.
My time.
I remember last year we did the Sports Center hit, and I went way too long on my first answer. And I got reprimanded.
I'm all about, if there's somebody new on there or somebody trying it out, I'm like, you can talk as long as you want, man.
Wow, you got to have respect for everyone else.
No, go for it. If you got to get something out,
no.
Hayes is going to be yelling and screaming. It'll be great.
I don't know what to think of tonight. I got to be honest. You're being optimistic, and I hope they pull off a win tonight. They need a win, for the sake of everybody within the organization, the fans. If you're going down there tonight, there's a crossroads here. You start spinning out, like I said, or if you start spinning the other way or keep going the direction you're in, man, oh man, that's a dark place.
The problem with a slump, it seems like you look at the other team, and when they're coming into town, you're playing like garbage. You're like, oh my God, Bennington's going to stand on his head tonight. Kyrou is going to be just on fire. Robbie Thomas, all of these guys. All their best players are going to have the game of their life. But the thing is, St. Louis is in the same position Toronto is.
They are. But usually when you're in a slump, isn't there one where you play really well and you still lose? And they go, hey, we did all the things, and then you take off after.
And they might claim Saturday was that against Chicago. Now, I didn't think they dominated, but they didn't get outplayed.
No.
I thought it was a fairly even game.
Seesaw battle. Yep.
That's on the road, but Chicago's been better this year. They're not a great team.
Well, I asked an NHL coach because I just wanted to do some research before the game. I said, what are some things you look at after a game to see if your team, you think they played really well? And he's like, well, did he tilt the ice? And then he got into some stats that I was like, okay, these guys actually do buy into these. And he's like, expected goals and high danger chances. So did Toronto out expected goals Chicago on Saturday night?
I can look it up if you'd like.
I believe they
dangerous
did.
Scoring chances. Did they have more than them?
I think they were pretty even.
I'll bet you Johnny would.
Johnny would know that.
Johnny's he's going to represent our AI, right? We wanted AI. Johnny's got it, man. Johnny be front of the line, I think.
J.I.
Here he is, down at the rink ahead of Leafs Blues tonight. Mike Johnson.
Johnny.
What's up, Johnny?
Yeah. What's up, boys? Listen, the fact that you're hoping that splitting a game down the middle against Chicago is the sign that they have figured it all out tells you kind of where this team is coming from. We are digging deep for optimism because I think the expected goals, they're almost exactly the same in that game for both teams. Yes, they were better. For sure they were better, but they didn't generate a ton. They didn't give up a ton, which is, I guess, a step in the right direction. But, yeah, I don't know. I think if you're worried about Binnington standing on the head, maybe they're worried about Joseph Woll, St. Louis guy, playing against his hometown as well, Craig Berube going up at his former club, all those different things. Both teams are sort of mirror. They're like that Spider-Man meme, like you, me, because they're sort of the same, not where they want to be. Goaltending in both squads have been pretty gruesome, and they both need a win, get their stuff going in the right direction in the standings.
J.I., what do you make of the comment calling the players vanilla? Like, what does that mean to you? Or their play? Like, what does vanilla mean to J.I.?
To me, I was listening to you guys on the way down, and, like, talking about physical play. I think it was more that they don't every game play the same. Whatever that is, like, you don't have to be physical to be not considered vanilla. Like when they played under Sheldon Keefe and were a rush team and attacking, that wasn't vanilla. It wasn't physical, but it wasn't vanilla. You knew what you're going to get, and it added an element that gave you a chance to win on a nightly basis. That's what I interpreted their vanilla as, that sometimes they play one way, sometimes it's another way, sometimes it's good defense, sometimes it's not so good defense, and it's just sort of meh, and you're not the same. And that's where it becomes vanilla. They just sort of blend into whatever the game sends them. They don't dictate what the game feels like, which makes it sort of seem like vanilla. To me, that's what I thought.
So, Johnny, you listened to Tree talk. If there was a percentage of who has to wear all of this or where everybody's at, we were talking about it. It's, Brad Treliving built a team. It's Craig Berube who's coaching, and it's the players who are playing. Maybe assign some numbers.
A mini Jerry pie chart.
Jerry pie chart there.
Okay, we'll keep it nice and simple. 50% I put on the players. The players are the players. They always have to bear the brunt because they've shown themselves capable of being different than they've been this year, and they haven't done it to the satisfaction of themselves or their coaching staff. So they got to play different. Even if it's not the way they want to play, they still have to play that way. Like, that's how it goes in the NHL. The coach diagrams the game plan. You execute it as well as you can. I don't think we've seen that execution. Now, if they were executing it and still losing, then it turns to more on the coach. But they haven't executed it well. So 50% of the players, I would say 25 on Berube, 25 on Treliving. Because Berube, part of his job is to get the players to buy in and do what you tell them to. It sounds simple, but that essentially it is. Play the way I'm telling you to play. And don't worry about anything else but what I'm telling you to do. Hasn't really happened. You've seen the breakdowns in coverage. You've seen some highlights. I'm sure you guys will do a great job of it tonight. Can't wait for the breakdowns. Hayes on the telestrator.
Yes,
bad pinches, bad decisions. That, you got to get the guys not to do that. That's on the coach. But I will give him a bit of a pass because this is sort of the way that Craig Berube is coached, right? Like, he coaches maybe not having the puck as much, more defensive slant. Don't worry about tilting the ice. They worry about defending the hard areas. He's sort of been true to who he is. He just hasn't got the guys to do it. And then I give 25% to Tree because none of it related to Marner. Just you had flexibility with the money and you brought in players. And he said today, his words, not mine, the guys that have been brought in have a lot more to give. And so jury's still out, but early returns they haven't been as impactful as you would have wanted. Now, Nick Waugh, I think, was getting better. Now he's hurt for a little bit here, but the other guys, Joshua, Michelli, and it just hasn't been what they wanted to do. So I kind of lump it 50, 25, 25.
Well, Well, you know what's interesting is they lost twice to St. Louis last year. So Berube has not got that win against his former team yet. Like they lost both of them last year, which again should be inspiring for Berube, the group. I don't know how much that factors into tonight in the bulletin board.
It doesn't.
I don't even like as long as these guys have been around. I don't think of them as a team that gets fired up for anything.
Okay, doesn't mean anything in general, Johnny, or this team isn't wired that way.
I don't think it means much in general. Like, you know what? It's 2 years ago. They won a cup 6 years ago. I guess we want to win it for him. Maybe we want to win it for us. We need it for us. Forget about him and him getting his former organization team from 7 years ago. Like, I want to win. It'd be nice it's for him, but you know, we got bigger issues, bigger motivators than Craig Berube versus St. Louis.
Well, you talk about motivation. Like, this is an opportunity for a guy or multiple guys to jump into the penthouse for Craig Berube. Like, he is dying for someone to show some life, dying for it. Yep. And, you know, Trey Living spoke to that today. Like, team hasn't played with a ton of enthusiasm. Like, here's an opportunity to do that. Like, if you walked in off the street and showed up and went out there and finished a check, Berube will probably give you another shift, like at least another shift. He might double shift you. So, yes, Matthews, when he comes back, he's going to reinsert exactly where he always is.
Right.
And Chris Tanev, the same thing. And when Stolarz returns, he's going to get every other start. But there's an opportunity. Like, Scott Laughton's not guaranteed anything. Steven Lorentz isn't guaranteed anything forever. Calle Jarnkrok. And I'm not even giving you an answer on who it is. Maybe it's Cowan. Like, maybe it's Easton Cowan, who should be walking into the building tonight saying, I thought he played pretty well on Saturday. A couple penalties he'd want back. But I think he should be looking at this saying, Craig Berube will play me 20 minutes tonight, 25 if I'm flying. I can play 25 minutes tonight if I work hard, finish checks, block shots, and battle. Because he's like, Berube is dying for someone to show some life. And who's going to salvage it? Desperate.
Somebody step up and give me a reason. And I said this the other day. Like, they have one line they're going to play all the time, no matter what, right? Tavares' line is going to play 22 minutes, no matter what. No matter how they're playing, it's going to happen. The other three lines have 40 minutes to chop up. 40, including power play time, second power play unit, including penalty kill time, defensive responsibilities, you name it. And you're right, Hayes. I don't think whoever's down the middle has staked a claim that is unassailable, that they get that job the whole game or even for a period. So, you can look at it as they don't have any centermen, or they can look at it as like Jacob Quillen could play 18 minutes tonight. He legitimately could if he plays well, and he might then give them something to think about as guys filter back in the lineup. There is, on a team where there hasn't been a lot of opportunity in the last 5 years, like there's just not. Talk to Nick Robertson, right? All he does is ever score. He can't find a way to crack the roster in a significant way for years and years and years. It's not the case right now. It's not the case this year. If I'm an individual player, I am looking at it exactly like that, Hayes. It's my chance right here to make inroads on this roster in a meaningful way if I have a good game starting tonight.
They got to call him Jake Quallen.
Where are you at?
Jake Quallen, where are you at?
Jacob Quillen, where are you at?
Nice. I'm right here.
He's got an opportunity. So, Johnny, when you look at it, is there one thing, like one player you're circling that's saying he's going to lead the charge tonight?
I mean, if there's one that I think could, it's Willie. Like, he's their most talented guy. And I know he's got points galore, and he's top 5 in the league in scoring and all the rest of it. But there's game, like the no shots thing for 2 games is strange. He's down a shot a game this year compared to last year. They need him. So I would point to him as a hopeful candidate. On the back end, it's easy, like you want to say Mo, but I would want to say, given where their team is at right now, Jake McCabe. Like, that guy has got to be, so steady, so solid, no bad reads, no bad turnovers, and just physical stuff he can do. Not asking him to do anything he can't. I look to those 2 guys that have the capability of being instrumental if they play well tonight, but not guaranteed because they both have sort of fluctuated in their quality as the season's gone on.
With Mike Johnson, what's your level of concern if you were the Edmonton Oilers right now?
I had a little conversation with Troy Stetcher this morning just about, walking into the fire here a little bit with her. It's like, I just left the fire. It's the exact same as in Edmonton, right? 5-1 against Buffalo. The pressure when you play Buffalo or maybe St. Louis, is that you think you're supposed to win. That's not a fair assumption, but that's how it looks. That's how it feels when you don't. Like, how do we lose to those guys? And another sort of not great looking loss, even with Hyman back now. It's not good. I'm concerned
No,
there.
it's not.
I still expect them to make it. I expect Draisaitl and McDavid, because they're Draisaitl and McDavid, to figure it out. But it doesn't look great. And like, they're sort of like Jack Roslovic is sort of doing what he's supposed to be doing, right? He scored a bunch and been offensive. Draisaitl and McDavid are doing what they do. Hyman just got back. They don't have a boatload of injuries. I know Nugent Hopkins is out and everything else, but you're wondering, okay, where's the reason it's been so poor other than it's been poor? And I think that's the concern. And did you guys hear the Rob Ray clip about Stu Skinner?
Man. What a shot he had at him.
Talk about catching a stray. You guys didn't hear it. So
we have
Edmonton
it. We
pulls
have it.
the goalie. Oh, you have it?
Johnny, let's play it. Let's play it, because this
Let's
is
go, JP.
Rob Ray.
Roll it.
JP on it. Activate.
Net for Edmonton. Yeah, it has been most of the night, so it's a difference.
What a shot by Rob
What?
Ray.
Just
it has been most of the night.
unnecessary.
So what's the difference?
I must not have been watching that broadcast.
That was MSG, I guess. I
That
wonder
was
if Ron responded.
unnecessary.
But he honestly
goalie
doesn't take
violence.
shots like that very often. He must have saw something where it was like, wow.
Well, it wasn't like Buffalo had 50 shots last night.
No, but
Like-
Edmonton did give up 22 high danger chances. They were no good defensively. Like, no good defensively.
What a shot by Rob Ray.
Yeah.
Who the hell are they going to
That's
go
tough.
get it? Like, let's say they want a new goalie. Like, who do they
Okay,
look at?
First of all,
There's a guy
guy
playing
here.
tonight they might be looking at.
Bennington?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bennington.
That's your guy?
Yeah.
Saros.
Yeah, Bennington.
And then
Saros?
in Columbus, Elvis. Jet Greaves is
Is
playing more
Jet,
there.
Jet Greaves is taking it over? I'm hearing Jet Greaves for the third spot for Canada. That's how good he's been. So
stop
who
it.
knows?
Stop
Okay.
it.
Well,
Who
Greaves has
knows?
been very good, but
Okay.
I think those are
I
the
would
three
ju-
you have to look at, Johnny.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if like Rob Ray has been associated with the Buffalo Sabres for a long time, and I'm not going to say anything too inflammatory about Rob Ray, but who is anyone associated with Buffalo to take shots at the Edmonton Oilers? Like, who are we kidding here? You are the worst
true.
organization in the last 10 years, bar none. I don't want to hear, like, you don't get a shot at anyone until you make the playoffs, and then this team went to the final twice in a row, and you're taking strays. It's just like, it's Rob Ray,
that's
so he
a
can do
bit
what he
tough.
wants, but that's a bit that's a big stretch
rock
for anyone
bottom.
from the
Keep
Sabres.
in mind,
Why don't you
Ray-
try kicking him in the junk next time you're between the benches with him and see what he does?
When he's in the benches, every time you see me, puck comes around, I'm diving out of the way. When the puck comes near here, he sticks his chin out over the boards. There's someone to bump into him. So
Yeah.
it's outrageous. He wants to
I
get
love
hit.
it.
He wants to be in the game.
I
I'm
think he
ducking
actually
and
wants to
swerving.
fight somebody as a broadcaster.
Do you remember when he got
Yeah.
hit last year? He got hit last year twice, I think, in a game. And then the next game, they put him up in the 300 level just as a joke. Like, he's unbelievable in there. When I'm in Buffalo beside him, I can't see around him. He is such a big man. Like, he's got a head like a mascot, and I say that with love, but he's just a giant, giant man.
Yeah.
And he's great to be by, Johnny, but it's just you in between the benches. Tonight you don't have another guy there with St. Louis. You don't have Jamie Rivers there, do you?
No. One-man operation. I had Rivs as a roommate for a while, but not in here.
Yeah.
Only room for one. Unless, of course, Hayes wants to come in, because Hayes gets whatever he wants. So he can
That
probably come
would be
down here
good.
and do his stuff
I
down
might
here
try
if he wanted to. Now,
I might try to.
I'm
I'll
not
put in
gonna
a
lie to you,
request.
Hayes. I thought today you were hosting. I heard the OverDrive was taken over. I thought you were hosting while also being an analyst. I didn't know you were going to be just straight analyst.
I butchered
opinionist.
Harvey's commercial a couple years ago, and I
did.
told him, screw you.
That was
man.
it?
I got one chance, and they'll never have me back.
You know what? We got to ask MJ before he goes the question we've been asking all day. How many Canadian teams make the playoffs?
Yeah, hit us. Bruce Boudreau says
Ottawa's
5. So
going
does
to?
Noodles.
I said 5.
They're both wrong. I listened yesterday. You guys, you're wrong. Ottawa's going to make it. Winnipeg's going to make it. I'm not going to say all three of Edmonton, Toronto, and Montreal are making it.
Mhm.
I don't think
So
that's
4?
going to be the case. So
So 4?
I would say 4. I'd hedge one of those guys going to miss it. I don't know who,
Yeah,
but one of those two
yeah
will
I
miss
think
it.
that's safe. I think you're probably right.
You said 2. This guy beside me said 2.
2, 3 max,
I'm giving-
man. 3 max.
Nice.
I mean, I'm going to give Winnipeg and Ottawa a pretty good chance of both making it. So now you're talking about just one of those other three teams. It's not out of question, though. It's not ludicrous, which, like it's not craziness. I mean, probably two, but one is like we're a quarter of the way in. If the Leafs lose tonight, they're in last. They're behind Buffalo. Rob Ray's Buffalo Sabres. They'll be behind them. So it's getting late early. We're 25% of the way done.
Well, they lose tonight, and if it's in reg, St. Louis ties them in points, and you're only looking down at Nashville and Calgary at that point. If you're the Leafs, if they lose tonight,
they're winning tonight. I don't
with
know
injuries. And a 6-game road trip coming up or whatever it is, right? Now you guys will wait for Mystic
trip,
Mike, but it's Florida Cup of Wash, Pitt, it's not Carolina. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Columbus in there too.
And guess what happens when they go to Columbus? They get pumped.
They lose.
Like 3 years in a row. Every time I go there to do a game in Columbus, it's 5-1. It's crazy.
Always.
Not the
all right, what are we waiting for with Mystic Mike? Like what your picks are tonight, and who you think's going to win, and all that kind of stuff, or
do you want to adjust the segment and debate him?
No, he just said he's like you got to wait until we see Mystic Mike.
I'm just saying. I'm with Noodles. I am optimistic for no real concrete reason other than the nature of sports. You don't lose forever, and this team is better than they've shown. They're playing a team that's not so good. I get equal desperation, but I think Toronto should win tonight as well, just because they're due to win a game.
Okay. All right, there you go. A lot of optimism.
Jake Wallen, first star.
Balake, barely seeing Toronto a home favorite over St. Louis. It's look at the numbers.
Yeah,
wow.
I know.
It's close.
I know. Like they're mine. It's basically a pick 'em at home against St. Louis.
Right.
On FanDuel. Like that.
Mark the date. You got to look at that and say, is this, rock bottom? Is this, you got to find markers.
Fork in the road.
This is the weirdest thing. This is the first time that this organization and this fan base has had to go through this in a long time.
Yes.
That's why it's foreign territory.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing because the Edmonton Oilers fan base, they 2-3 years in a row, they've been doing this. This is what they do in October and November.
Yes.
It's different for the Toronto Maple Leafs this time around. And you're looking at the standings going, that looks weird. And those teams that are now, like Montreal's near the top, Ottawa's near the top, you're like, those teams I don't think are going away in the next year or two.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Detroit's
they're getting
settled
stronger.
back in. And,
so that's what's weird for everybody. That's, I think, what, MJ, I don't know if you feel that way, but I feel like it's uncharted territory for this group at this stage of the season so far.
And that's a compliment to the last 10 years. They've been really good. They don't go through streaks like this. They don't lose a lot in a row. It feels very strange. And it's probably overreaction from everyone around the team. But the problem with the fork in the road game, the rock bottom game, the turning point game, if you don't get it, then where you going?
Right.
That's the problem.
That's fair.
That will be addressed tonight.
Aaron.
Aaron.
Nice.
Aaron. We're referencing Key and Peele. For people that don't know, it's a Key and Peele skit.
He is so funny.
Yeah, you got to find it. It's outstanding.
Yeah.
All right. What were you calling him? J.I.?
J.I.
J.I.
Jake Quellen tonight. Big game for Jake Quellen.
Jake Quellen. Get after it tonight. We'll catch you on the pregame.
All right, boys. Have a great show tonight. I'll be listening.
You got it. We'll be listening too. There he is, Mike Johnson, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Get in and go where adventure takes you in a new 2025 Tacoma from Maple Toyota near Canada's Wonderland in the Maple Auto Mall. Visit mapletoyota.com. All right. A little confirm or deny coming up. Right. It's quiz night tonight. Got a quiz on the panel this evening.
Yep.
Look forward to seeing where you guys are going to go with your answers. We'll see.
You got to just make sure you don't butcher that or you'll get an email promptly. You got to say your answer and then explain.
Right.
That's the rules.
That is
like, remember
strict
what was
rules.
the Seinfeld, the guy with the soup? What was his name? Soup Nazi or whatever it was. And it's like one crab bisque and then you slide right.
You got to just get to your order and move.
That's exactly what.
Say your answer and then explain, or an email comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will do my best. I might need to kind of be reset here a little bit.
And also know the question. Just be organized.
I'm trying. I'm leaning on you. You're the vet.
But who knows what the questions are? It's all live, so who knows?
Yeah. Well, that's valid too. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
All right, confirm or deny coming up. There's some updates on Bo Bichette and what could happen with Bo and some reports of teams he's connected to. We'll tell you about that and best bets as well. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Boston trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
Well, I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
JP, activate.
All right, confirm or deny. Statements are made, and we either confirm them or we deny them. It's very simple, right? Confirm or deny has been activated. Here's a little spin on what we've been talking about today, right? You get your whole playoff Canadian thing.
And by the way, I'm not trying to be some jerk or negative or whatever. I'm just...
Would love all of them to get in. That'd be great.
I love all of them. I love covering. The playoffs are better with Canadian teams in. Storied franchises, Calgary Flames, Habs, all of it. But you're just watching, and I don't know what it is. It almost seems league-wide. There's just a lot of bad play.
Well, that, I think, is something that needs to be remembered, though, on the other side is, like, yes, the Canadian teams collectively have not been good, but a lot of teams have not been good.
Dude, the Vegas Golden Knights, they set the league on fire to start the year. They're garbage right now.
They have not played well.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Well,
they've lost
everyone
a lot
was
of
like,
games.
oh, Mitch is here now. You guys suck in Toronto. The Golden Knights stink right now.
I was laughing because I did see a stat where Mitch was the fastest.
But it wasn't accurate.
It wasn't accurate.
It wasn't right.
Eichel had already done it.
Exactly.
This year.
Yeah, Eichel hit 20 points in 13 games or something like that.
But that's the funny part is the Golden Knights have games in hand, but they're tied with the Oilers. Like Chicago's in there, Seattle's in there.
Yeah.
Los Angeles, Anaheim's leading the Pacific Division.
Right, and they started slow, like they were not playing well, and they hit the road and
But that's
rockstar
why,
stuff.
like between you've got about 8 teams that are 2 to 3 points lumped up. You've got to find a way to have the separator. But you make the good point, or he did. A lot of bad hockey.
Everyone's doing it
across the board.
So you can find some solace in that. Like if your team's terrible right now or playing poorly, okay, a lot of teams are. All right, confirm and deny. No Canadian team will finish top 2 in the respective division. Like you only got 2 going to the playoffs. So will Winnipeg finish top 2 in the Central? Will Ottawa finish top 2 in the Atlantic?
I'm going to confirm that. I love what I'm seeing from the Sens right now.
Okay. So you believe at least one Canadian team will finish top 2. All right. So you'll be denying this one.
Yeah. I'm denying it as well. I do think that there is, whether it's Ottawa, whether it's Winnipeg. I know everybody thinks Colorado and Dallas are just gone. They're going to hit they're going to hit their adversity as well too. Like Colorado's won 6 in a row. I believe Dallas has won 5 in a row. But I also watched Dallas lose some games this year too. Like they're a very good team. So is Colorado. Colorado is just not going to march and never lose a game or never deal with some adversity. I think the Jets could slide into top 2. Who else? I mean, we only need 2.
Yeah, you only need 2, so that's all you need. Yeah. Now, I will say the Jets are 9 points back at Colorado right now. Like that's a big gap.
It is. But you said top 2.
Yes, and they're only 5 back of Dallas with a game in hand, and they'll play them, I'm sure, a few more times this year. I think one of these teams can get into the top 2 in the Atlantic, like Boston, Detroit, Montreal. Can Montreal or Ottawa finish there? Yeah, I think they can. The Leafs, I don't know. That just seems so far away.
Talk to us a week from now.
I know that.
Thing. Like,
I know
we're
that.
talking today, but
and how about Edmonton? Can Edmonton not catch one of Anaheim or LA or Seattle?
I totally think they can. As crazy as it seems and as bad as they're playing right now, it almost seems like they're just waiting for a goal.
All right, I'll deny it too. 2 of them are
behind
going to
LA.
Yeah,
that's second place in the Pacific. They're 2 points behind them.
Yeah. Now they're playing so poorly, but yes. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I hear you.
I think at the end of the day, we have to talk about what's in front of us, which has been poor play from some teams we've expected a lot more. But give it another 5 to 10 games and go, we'll have this chat again.
I totally agree with you, Jamie, but for some of these teams, and it's going to really hurt some feelings for the teams, but sooner or later, they're going to have to look themselves in the mirror and say, we're just not a good team. Well, like when we get 10 games from now, it's not, oh, give them some more. You're just not a good team.
You're right.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to intend.
Not everybody pulls out of it and says, oh, now we're showing our true colors.
Keep in mind, too, how many times did we look at Florida last year and go, maybe they've run out of gas. And then they just puttered along. I did a few Florida games down the stretch last year. I remember talking to Mo, and he's like, yeah, we're not playing well. Like, we're just trying to get healthy. We're just trying. They didn't care
but
about
they have an ability to flip a switch. I don't think there's a bunch of other teams that deserve that
I
benefit.
agree, and they deserve that right. But I'm just saying, like, not everything's going to be a perfect science. I think this year with the condensed schedule, the Olympics coming, you're going to see some weird stuff. And
yes,
so far, we've seen some weird stuff.
Now, also, sometimes it's just a year that
doesn't go
falls apart on you.
Boston Bruins last year.
Exactly. Like Cause was talking about it earlier. There are examples of teams that just for some reason have a terrible year. And
wasn't it Tampa that like was a top tier team, missed the playoffs and went right back to the top type of thing?
Yeah, I think they kind of dropped out. Yeah.
And they make the finals or something or one like
in 13, yeah, and then they dropped down again, and that's when they took Druin. No, they drafted Jonathan Druin.
Yeah,
I believe it was
top 3 or something.
But Colorado, the same thing. Like they kind of had it going up, and then dropped. Hey, there's Cale Makar, and then they started going back up again. It happens, and it's a tough struggle to get through. And you hope you can get a piece, and then retool and get right back on the horse.
Yeah,
that's the question, though. Can you retool and get right back in a competitive nature?
Yeah.
All right, let me skip past the next one and get to LeBron's return tonight. LeBron James making his return for his 23rd season in the NBA. Confirm or deny LeBron will be a top 15 player in the league the rest of the season.
I'm going to deny that. I'm really going to deny that. I think Father Time is finally here.
Mm-hmm. Asking a lot out of a guy that age.
And there's a new
He's just
cycle,
such
too.
a freak of nature, man. He's so good all the time.
I think if you ask himself, he's going to say, I will be that. And ask him after the season, and he would say he is that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just don't see it, man.
There's a new cycle of players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shay, guys that have broken through, that are top tier.
Wemby's hurt already, though.
But 15.
Yeah.
That's,
I don't think it's totally out of the question. I will say that.
No, I don't. Listen, it's tough to doubt a guy like that. Like, he's going to be in shape. Now, like, he's had this back issue or sciatica or what is it? Sciatica.
Yeah.
He's been dealing with that, which is such an old guy's injury.
That's a Florida lawn chair injury.
Yes, it is.
I've had a bad sciatica. in
Yeah,
my life.
I think I might have suffered from it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he's got the confidence to believe he can get back there. But I'm going to deny that he will because, it's a fast league. You're jumping on a moving ship now. It's Luka's team. He knows it. He's not young. Sucks that Wemby's out because he's been unbelievable early in the year. But you just know that guy's never playing more than like 65 games.
Ever.
He's just too big and awkward, and I don't know how you could ever trust that he'll ever play.
Skinniest legs.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, the Raptors, shout out to the Raps, man. They won again last night. Like, big defensive plays late in the game. Wasn't against the best team in the league, but they have won, I think, 7 of 8. They're chasing down that top seed in the East.
I've got a few DMs, especially from one of our colleagues here. Paul Ross said, stop talking so much about the Leafs, more Raps.
Raps are, I was listening
fun to watch.
Carlo brought up the kind of Blue Jay comparison today. Now it's premature because we know the Jays got the Game 7 of the World Series, but like kind of unexpected, off the radar, and then all of a sudden just became this likable team that connected.
Hardworking.
Yeah, like Darko's got them playing, man. Brandon Ingram's been great, been healthy, which is important, but the notorious BI3, that's what Devlin's calling him, which is a great call. He had a massive dunk last night.
Yeah.
Massive dunk. And Scotty had that big block at the end of the game. It was a good game. Like, they're playing well.
Got to give them their feathers.
Got to give them their flowers right now. Absolutely.
What did I say? Feathers?
Feathers.
Flowers.
Can't give them feathers. Got to give them flowers.
Flowers. Apologies.
All right. Confirm or deny, the best chance for the Leafs to get out of this is for the Wall and Stolarz tandem to get healthy.
Confirm. Yes.
I'm going to deny it.
Really?
I think they've, just from watching as much as we all do, there's way bigger issues than just the goaltending, man. Way bigger. So I'm denying it. They can obviously help and do their thing, but they got some They got problems, man.
Well,
they got problems.
I think it stems, though, if the goalies can give you that confidence, maybe the confidence seeps into the group, and then the group relaxes and plays.
But there's been some nights where it's like, it would be so unrealistic. Like nights like in Buffalo, against Jersey at home, that the chances that they're giving up, it would be so unrealistic to ask your goaltender to be the saving grace.
Yeah.
Like there's been some egregious chances against where you're like, these guys are getting dummied right now. Dummied. Carolina at home.
Yes.
The breakaways, the 2-on-1s. It's like, what the hell's a goalie going to do?
Yeah.
Well, and there's like depth to the high danger. There's like high danger and then CN Tower danger. And
I did a highlight pack in the Carolina game, and I talked about checking, and I didn't even show the 4 breakaways.
Yeah.
4 breakaways.
No, I think
that's insane.
I told you.
I had to say that before doing the pack. I'm like, keep in mind here when I'm showing this, there's also 4 breakaways and multiple 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy stuff.
I'll confirm it, though, because what it can do, hopefully for the Leafs, is get the injuries back.
Yeah, connect the group.
Yeah. Like Matthews skated today. Maybe Saturday he can play. Tanev is weeks away.
We don't know the nature of his injury. They won't
No
talk
idea,
about
and you'll
it.
never know. You'll never find out. Don't even ask. How dare anyone?
Well, Tanev, when
Tanev, we know what the
gonna
injury is.
Reassess
In
like
a week or two. He could be months away from playing.
I
could
worry
be
for him.
Yes, that's scary stuff.
I love Chris Tanev, and I worry. You got to worry about the person first, and
100%
work backwards from that.
That is scary.
Yeah.
Stolarz, I guess, skated today, but who knows when he's going to play. But they need him. Like, they need him and Matthews to get back in the lineup. They need Stolarz and Wall to just start pairing off.
Yeah.
Get hot. Get Matthews back. Reset everyone. Get Waugh back, who had been playing better. Set up Matthews, Tavares, Waugh, your 2 goalies, and that's how you start. Like, that's how you start to dig out of this. Not necessarily confirm or deny, but now reports linking Bo to the Red Sox. I guess confirm or deny, do you think Bo is dictating these news items to get the attention of the Blue Jays?
I'm sure he wouldn't.
I would confirm that. I think if he really wants to be in Toronto, as I said last week, the simplest move for your agent, you call up your agent and you say, I want the Jays to pay me. I want to get money, but I want to stay there.
Yeah.
You tell Jeff Passan and John Heyman and everyone else, the Yankees and the Red Sox are calling me off the hook and dying to sign me. Just call up them and say, well, these guys won't leave us alone. They're dying to get Bichette because that'll get the Jays'
he'd be ripping
attention.
them over the Green Monster for fun.
What is the Tucker news? Is there any rumblings?
Again, I believe Jeff Passan reported today that executives around the league believe that the Jays are in the driver's seat.
Well, then that...
Well, he's, like I said yesterday, he's probably pissed about that.
Bichette?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
Now,
mean.
that doesn't mean the Jays are, countering with equal amounts of exuberance or excitement or, what have you. But I don't think there's room for both of them.
Right.
Like if they sign Tucker.
That's what I wish.
That'd be great.
Yes.
Tucker and Bichette. And just load up a lineup like Tucker into Vladdy or put Tucker in between the 2 right-handed bats. Vladdy into Tucker into Bichette. There's your 2, 3, 4 for the next 6, 7 years.
That'd be pretty good.
Ooh, Kirk hitting 5th. Then you figure out you got Barger, you got Ernie Clement coming back, you got Varsho, you got obviously George for another
Ernie
year.
loves his golf, eh?
Ernie loves.
Thought I saw a picture of him today.
Ernie Clement was down in Vegas playing with Joe Carter.
Yeah, at Shadow Creek.
That place looks so good.
We're gonna play there one day.
Yeah, you can call your shot. Well, it's MGM that owns it, though, right? Like you can't just call up and make a time.
Well, I'm sure he knows somebody who knows somebody, right?
Yeah.
Tom Barrasso.
Does Tommy Barrasso have a hookup there?
I played with Tom Barrasso 3 days in a row for free at Shadow Creek.
How does he hit him? Is he a good player?
Very good golfer.
Is he like a heavy hitter in Vegas?
Dude, all I know is I played in San Jose before the Olympic break, and I was going to Vegas after, and he played. He made the U.S. Olympic team, and he came up to me and was like, look, man, I'm going to Vegas before I go to Salt Lake. He goes, I'm taking a private bird from San Jose to Vegas right after the game. If you want to hop on, you're more than welcome. Sushi.
Wow.
Wine.
What a legend.
Yeah. Vegas, and then Shadow Creek 3 days in a row, and then he went to the Olympics.
What a life, man.
That's old
Private
school.
jet
That
into
was old
Vegas
school.
and Shadow Creek 3 days.
I just remember the bird. It was just coming over the mountains, and then the Vegas strip. I was like, this is the best.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. And then he probably never put his pads on in Utah.
Yeah, but don't kid
Like
yourself. Tipping the four caddy was basically a green fee. I think I had to tip that four caddy $500 every day just to find my golf ball.
Yeah, that's any place you go like that, you're paying, it's a couple hundred.
You're not just going to give the guy $40 and say, hey, thanks, chum.
No.
You're giving him $500.
Especially if someone else has set it up.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're here representing me. It's like, you better not.
Very generous.
You better be hooking that guy up.
And, dude, those golf carts, like the seats, they lift up and it's a cooler loaded with cold ones. It's the best.
Yeah, Shadow
range,
Creek.
all of it.
Well, the whole thing doesn't make sense. Like Vegas in general doesn't make sense. It's just obviously in the desert. It's made out of nothing. And Shadow Creek is just this unbelievably.
Looks like you're in Pinehurst.
I think I'm there next week.
Like the grass is the greenest you've ever seen anything in your life.
Ever.
In a desert.
Yes. Now, the amount of money they spend on watering and stuff like that, it must be absurd.
Absurd.
Like they have to be in the hole. There's no way you could own that and like make money on it.
Well, it's
like I know the greens fees are high, but do you know how much it would cost to operate that place?
Is there a casino right in there?
Well, it's owned by MGM.
I think there's a membership group. I can't imagine what.
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you have to be like.
Doogie, look up if there's members at Shadow Creek.
You got to stay at MGM, and you got to like. Yeah. Be invited, kind of.
Spend some money there. So they're going to have some.
You can't fly in and say, I'd like to play.
Yeah, exactly.
Shadow Creek. It's kind of a hospitality thing for the big shooters.
You're not at the $10 tables, blackjack.
No.
You're
coming in and putting down $100,000 per play, and then you can go play Shadow Creek. Like they'll pick you up.
Crazy. You know? We were picked up.
Yeah, exactly. It's a full pickup routine.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't think you're getting in a car and just driving to Shadow Creek.
No.
Like, there's pros that are there a lot, but I don't think they're members at Shadow Creek.
There's pros everywhere in Vegas.
JP, turn his microphone off.
Deactivate. Deactivate. All right, best bets coming up. OverDrive continues TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.
JP, one last time activate.
One last activation, JP.
Yes, attaboy.
Attaboy, JP. Because again, the first star of the game today is JP.
To be dialed in and activated for every single break is incredible stuff.
Amazing stuff.
And don't kid yourself, JP. We're going to keep this routine going every time I'm in here.
Yeah, I think he needs to activate every single time.
Thursday, you better be ready once again. Not that I'm expecting this to be ready and fixed by Thursday anyway.
Probably won't.
But you got to be ready.
Yeah. Well, listen, JP's been outstanding. Doogie's been very, very good. Joe from the Bridge, outstanding. Those are the 3 stars.
You like that?
There you go.
You like that?
We do. We do. All right, we got Leafs Blues tonight, and we're doing the panel. So Duthie's over there waiting for us, right? We're ready to rock it, so I put the tie on for the last segment. It's a you move, Noodles. You usually pull that
I always
off.
put the tie on the last segment. Or...
You just go tie the whole show.
And done up, too. Like, that's stiff.
Yeah. That's veteran, though. I like that. That's a Tom Barrasso play.
He's the best.
Tommy Barrasso, man.
Tommy B, shout out.
What an unreal story. Private bird right into Vegas, Shadow Creek 3 days in a row.
Sushi and a great bottle of wine on the way there. That's the best of the best. That guy was the best, man.
Well, especially if you were in Napa. He probably had the best bottle of wine. Yes. Like if you were coming from San Jose, he must have dialed in something that you can't find anywhere else in the country.
Buddy, I was at an age at that time, I didn't care about any of that. All I know is I was going to Vegas for a full week. And it was like, I'm going to get you to Vegas first class on the PJ.
That's amazing.
Got to take advantage.
Yeah.
Got to take advantage of that. All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Noodles, you've been very optimistic today.
I have been.
And it is wearing off towards me.
Go for it.
Leafs winning tonight. William Nylander, 2+ points tonight. Nylander's got to have a night tonight. I think he will, right? 2 games in a row, no shots on net. That's got to come to an end. I think it comes to an end quickly. I wouldn't be shocked if he scored first. Wouldn't be shocked if he scored early in his game tonight. And neither team can really defend. I wouldn't be against betting the over tonight.
5-3.
Yeah, it wouldn't be shocking if it was 5-3 tonight. Would not be shocking at all. Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Same game parlays now available for every NHL game on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly. 19 plus. Physically located in Ontario. All right. Well, shout out to the Cowboys in Hazenbrough for a win last night.
So it's plus 10 now, right?
Yeah, back to double digits.
Wow.
Not our best week. We weren't happy with ourselves, but
they're feeling pretty good, though. They're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, they should. They had a good weekend. Now, CFL games are no longer a part of the process, so that hurts.
We have to dig in.
You guys have to dig in.
You
got to find a way to dig in. But, we'll see what happens with this baseball offseason as well, man. It feels like news is going to start coming here, and guys are going to start being signed. And we mentioned it yesterday, Josh Naylor re-signing in Seattle.
Well, that might have bent Bo Bichette out of shape a little bit, like where he's like, if it's supposed to be like an automatic marriage where it's like Naylor was with Seattle, why aren't I with the Blue Jays just automatically done here? What's going on?
What's that number look like?
I don't know, but it would piss a guy off if it's like he hears sniffing around on Tucker, other guys. It's like, I thought it was about me, keeping me here.
Yeah.
That guys get bent out of shape about that.
I could see that. And it's on Shapiro and Atkins to accept that, but also it's business, man.
We'll chat about it tomorrow, but what is the expected marketplace for him financially?
Let's get our boy Phillips
300,
on him.
400, like that?
Oh, I don't think it's that high. I think it's maybe 2. Is it the thing is he's been injury prone. So I don't know. I don't think he's going to get like a 10-year deal.
10-year deal at $25 million.
I think it's like a 4 or 5-year deal at 25 or something like that.
Right.
And then does it get him up to 150? And then to really get him, it's got to get to 180. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I would love to know is what is this contract? A guy like Steve Phillips, what does he think that contract comes in at? That's because he's looking at his buddy who just signed for 500.
Yeah, that's
5:30 tomorrow.
Beast.
We'll chat with him.
We'll find out, right? Yeah, we got bits we got to do tomorrow. We'll be breaking down the Leaf game tomorrow. And we got other NHL games. We got NBA games tonight. LeBron's back.
Yeah.
So shout out to LeBron James. Like 23 seasons starting tonight, man. It's been a while, but he's back. So we got that. And, of course, we're on the panel. So make sure you catch us on the pregame. We're coming up on SportsCenter. Going to be on SportsCenter after the game.
Big night.
It's a big night. Duthie hosting. We're coming up on the Leaf panel. Leafs Blues on TSN 4 tonight. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for helping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, and, of course, up on YouTube Live. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at...
JP, deactivate, 4 p.m.
We'll chat then.